Hey guys, it's Liko. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but I'm here. I'm doing a TBR video. This is an overly ambitious TBR. I am in such a huge mood to read that I've just been going. So I figured I need to start sharing my TBRs. Am I gonna finish this TBR? Probably not. If I do, wouldn't that be awesome? Yeah. I'm sorry that this TBR is a little late. This book, Dances with Wolves. I got this like library hardcover thing from a library sale. I love the movie. I've never read the book. I started it yesterday and I'm already like halfway through with it. It's very good. I didn't even know they had a sequel, which is called The Holy Road, and I found that book on like Fantastic Fiction. Here comes a cattail. That book will be coming in soon. I think I'm going to read that next month. If you guys haven't seen the movie for this, it's amazing. It's about Lieutenant Dunbar. He ends up going to Fort Sedgwick, and the only other person that knows he's there is Timmons, and he ends up getting killed by Indians. So he is very alone and he's just running this army base by himself. It's abandoned. Dunbar doesn't know when they're gonna come back or if they're even gonna come back, and he starts to make friends with the Indians. And there's a white woman who lives among the Indians, the Comanche, and her name is Stands with Fists. Just a beautiful story. I'm also going to be reading City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. Now, I did read the first one a few months ago with my friend Melissa at Melissa and Barnesy Read, and we are ready to read the second one. I'm actually enjoying this series quite a bit. It is a little juvenile for me, but I think it'll definitely get better and better as people are telling me. Some of the jokes in there do kind of crack me up, even though that's a little juvenile. I mean, come on, I still read Harry Potter, okay? I've read them like 8 times. I'm sure I don't have to explain much about this series because most of you out there already know, but this is the second book in the Mortal Instruments series. I'm ready to get back into the world of Shadowhunters, so we'll see if we can get to it this month. I got this copy of The Edge of Everything. This is by Jeff Giles. This copy is a new book, but the story itself isn't. The sequel to this book actually comes out next month. I do have it on a pre-order, but I haven't read this one yet, so I figured I would go ahead and get this one. Just so I can, you know, catch up, and it's a beautiful cover. I think the old cover was white or gray with some yellow flowers on it. It says, "For the perfect love, what would you be willing to lose?" And that's the one that's coming out next month, The Brink of Darkness. It says, "It's been a shattering year for 17-year-old Zoe, who's reeling from her father's death and a caving accident and her neighbor's strange disappearance. On a terrifying sub-zero blizzardy night in Montana, she and her little brother are terrorized by a man in the woods, only to be rescued by a mysterious bounty hunter they call X. X is no ordinary bounty hunter. He is from a hell called the Lowlands, sent to claim the soul of Zoe's evil attacker and others like him. X is forbidden from revealing himself to anyone other than his prey, but he casts aside the Lowlands rules for Zoe. As they learn more about their colliding worlds, they begin to question the past, their fate, and their future. But escaping the Lowlands and the ties that bind X might mean the ultimate sacrifice for them both." Oh, I'm excited. Oh, one more soul. The next book is Catching Stars. This was a book that I got in Owl Crate. I am going to be budding reading this book with Melissa at Melissa and Barnesy Read. This is a book about a witch. It says, "Be afraid of witches." Jayan Ijad is in hiding, a witch with powerful abilities. She carves out a life for herself in the slums of Pavao, a city rotting from the inside out. When an old acquaintance tracks her down, Jayan is dragged back into a world she tried to escape and is determined to escape again. Maddox Kell is on the run. After 2 years in prison for crimes he did not commit, Maddox escapes and seeks out a legendary order of witch hunters who are his only chance to find justice. But all is not as it seems, and Maddox soon finds himself on the run from the people he saw as allies. When their paths collide, Jayan and Maddox must put aside their prejudices and forge an uneasy alliance that could crumble at any moment. But if they want to survive in Astos, a brutal kingdom where magic and corruption lie hand in hand and enemies lurk around every corner, they must first survive each other. I love me a good misfit story, so this will be good. Vampire hunters L.J. Smith. I never read a Vampire Hunters book, never. But I have all of them except for 4. I have been slowly collecting them. And as you can see, this one is pretty used. I found this at a thrift store. I think this is the first one, according to Goodreads. If it's not, then somebody please tell me before I start reading this. The White Queen by Philippa Gregory. I love Philippa Gregory. I love like royal history, Tudor history, Henry VIII, Elizabeth. I love reading about that time back then. And Philippa Gregory does such a good job with retelling these stories. I remember the first one I read from her was The Other Boleyn Girl, and I don't even think it was the first book. If you look on Goodreads, it says it's like a numbered book in a series, but I read it by itself and it works as a good standalone too. This one is about Queen Elizabeth, the White Queen, Elizabeth Woodville, a woman of extraordinary beauty and ambition who secretly marries the newly crowned boy king. While Elizabeth rises to the demands of her exalted position and fights for the success of her family, her 2 sons become the central figures in a famous unsolved mystery that has confounded historians for centuries, The Lost Princes in the Tower of London. There's even like a TV show about the White Queen. I think it's a Stars thing. I think you might be able to watch it on Hulu even, or Amazon Prime. Probably Amazon Prime. I don't know. But it's really, really good. I recommend you watch it. If you want to read the book first, it's this one. It's this one. Next I have Allegedly. This is by Tiffany Jackson. This book I'm really excited for. I found this on Book Outlet a few months ago, and my friend Melissa read this in like a day, I think, and she really, really loves this book, and she highly recommends it. It's supposed to be very emotional. Allegedly, she didn't say much in that first interview with detectives, and the media filled in the only blanks that mattered. A white baby had died while under the care of a church-going black woman and her 9-year-old daughter. The public convicted Mary and the jury made it official, but did she do it? She wouldn't say. Mary survived 6 years in baby jail before being dumped in a group home. The house isn't really home. No place where you fear for your life can be considered a home. Home is Ted, who she meets an assignment at a nursing home. There wasn't a point to setting the record straight before, but now she's got Ted and their unborn child to think about. When the state threatens to take her baby, Mary must find the voice to fight her past. And her fate lies in the hands of the one person she distrusts the most, her mama. No one knows the real mama, but does anyone know the real Mary? This book, I think I got it for much more cheaper because I got it from Book Outlet. It is flawed. It is a dystopian novel, and then there's a sequel apparently called Perfect. Celestine North lives a perfect life. She's a model daughter and sister, and she's well liked by her classmates and teachers. She's also a girl of logic. To Celestine, every problem has a solution. Every action is either right or wrong. Celestine has always known about the flawed, second-class citizens who are branded as punishment for their crimes. And she always thought they must deserve their punishment. So I guess this brand right here, I don't know if it's branded like on their head or on their arm or something, but they brand these individuals for their crimes and then they become second-class citizens. So, but everything changes when Celestine witnesses the mistreatment of a flawed man and steps up to help him. But in helping him, she reveals that she is imperfect. And in Celestine's society, imperfection is punished. She is imprisoned, she is branded, she is flawed. This sounds amazing. Next, I have The Astonishing Color of After. This book I am going to be buddy reading with my friend Melissa at Melissa and Barnesy Read. This was about a half Asian girl who tries to find her, her family background. It says that Lee Chen Sanders is absolutely certain about one thing. When her mother died by suicide, she turned into a bird. Lee, who is half Asian and half white, travels to Taiwan to meet her maternal grandparents for the first time. There, she's determined to find her mother, the bird. In her search, she winds up chasing after ghosts, uncovering family secrets, and forging a new relationship with her grandparents. And as she grieves, she must try to reconcile the fact that on the same day she kissed her best friend and longtime secret crush, Axel, her mother was taking her own life. Sounds like it might be one of those like gut-wrenching stories, and the guy's name is Axel, which I approve of. I mean, come on. Axel Rose. The next book is Legendary. It's a Caraval sequel. I have already read this book. I have already read this book in the beginning of June. I gobbled it up in like a few days. I read this with Shannon over at the Book Chronicles and Melissa and Barnesy Read. I read with her all the time. We thoroughly enjoyed this book. We enjoyed this book so much that we think it's better than Caraval. Apparently, this story is told in Tella's point of view. This game is more real than the last game. We get to find out who Legend is. The last book I'm going to try to read, When Katie Met Cassidy. This is a lesbian romance novel. I got this in my book of the month, and it's for June of 2018. When it comes to Cassidy, Katie can't think straight. Katie Daniels, a 28-year-old Kentucky transplant with a strong set of traditional values, has just been dumped by her fiancé when she finds herself seated across a negotiating table from the native New Yorker Cassidy Price, a sexy, self-assured woman wearing a man's suit. While at first Katie doesn't know what to think, a chance meeting on a West Village street later that night leads them both to the Metropolis, a dimly lit lesbian dive bar that serves as Cassidy's second home. The night offers straight-laced Katie a glimpse into a wild yet fiercely tight-knit community, one in which bar rooms may as well be bedrooms, and loyal friends fill in the spaces absent families leave behind. And in Katie, Cassidy finds a chance to open her heart in new ways. Soon their undeniable connection will bring into question everything each of them thought they knew about sex and love. They're gonna fall in love. I can't wait. I have 11 books on my TBR. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to read them all, but I'm certainly going to give it a good try. I'm really excited to be back here on BookTube and to engage with everyone again. If you like this video, then please leave me a thumbs up. Thanks guys for watching my video, and I'll see you all in the next video, okay? Bye!